So you'll be at the Boston card though, right?
Yeah, I'll be at the Boston Garden. I'm supposed to. I'm waiting to get final word from Sky Sports.
Yeah.
But I should be there. I'm just waiting to get confirmation. They're just waiting. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the opponent for Andre, but they told me that either way they're gonna do it because Andre is that Hearn fighter, and Hearn.
Yeah.
They're there because of Hearn, you know.
Yeah, that's what Eddie was saying.
I'm just waiting for some confirmation on whatnot and what they're doing. It's a shame about Saunders, you know. It's just the sport is going that direction, unfortunately, more and more. So because nobody does anything to control it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's the one that agreed to VADA. He signed the contract, so you have to know what their rules are. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course. It's like I don't really believe in the whole accidental thing. You know, I think people want to give people a benefit of the doubt. I don't believe in the accidental thing, but I do believe that at this point in time in the sport, if you don't do any of that stuff, you're not going to survive anyway. So.
Yeah.
Like I said after Canelo's punishment was basically a slap on the wrist. I said, next time somebody gets caught, don't expect me to criticize them. I'll give them a round of applause for doing what they're supposed to. Because at this point, that's what the sport. That's what they've made a mockery of the sport.
Yeah.
Those are the people that control it, and
yeah.
they've gone to this point where you are not going to survive unless you're doping. So it's unfortunate.
Right. Yo, that is funny. Like I think Chavez got like almost the same type of punishment for smoking weed that Canelo got.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Can you imagine? So I mean, when you make a mockery of the sport in that way, you know, how can you not expect fighters to dope? I mean, you'd be you know, just because a lot of the other ones aren't getting caught doesn't mean they're not doing it either. You know
Right.
And everybody makes like this whole VADA thing is like the way to go. VADA is a great company if they have endorsements and sponsorships. They don't, you know, so they don't have nearly the money enough to test you on a regular basis enough to even make themselves dangerous. You know,
wow.
They catch guys on accident. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not dangerous enough because they're not dangerous enough because they don't have enough money. You know, they have the right plan in mind, but they don't have the money to implement it. You know.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a shame. That's crazy. It's crazy that it's crazy that like when Floyd was asking Manny Pacquiao to take the test, like everyone was criticizing him, like and now it's exploded into this. I mean, VADA didn't even exist when Floyd asked for that.
Yeah, exactly, and it's funny because you know he was getting criticized at that time, and now fighters are failing left and right, and they still are not even giving. And you're still not even giving enough money to regularly test enough to catch more guys. You're catching guys on the most minimum of random testing. You know what I'm saying? You're catching guys on the most minimum because they don't have enough. Body does not have enough money. You know what I'm saying? So you're catching guys on the. Imagine if there was like a real big push for this. You know, you really uncover a major problem. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, it's become a major problem because you kind of have to dope whether you like it or not. You know, or otherwise you have no career. You know, so at this point, in order to clean up this entire sport, you have to implement such strict drug testing that you have to change the face of the entire sport, you know, in the way every fighter approaches their training camp. Because I think most of the sport has to dope at this point because otherwise there's no way this isn't Rocky IV. There's no way a clean fighter beats a dirty fighter. You know what I'm saying? So if you think a dirty fighter got beat and the guy that beat him was clean, you're out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Just because he didn't fail the test doesn't mean he was clean. You know, so I think at day's end, I think it's uncovering a bigger problem, but. You'd uncover an even bigger problem if you actually had the endorsements. But of course, that's the biggest problem of all. You're just seeing the problem, and you're still getting no endorsements for these drug tests.
Yo, did you like when you were early in your career or the middle of your career? Did you ever suspect? I mean, obviously, you don't have to name any names, but did you ever have a feeling that other guys around you were possibly using stuff? Like did that cross your mind back then?
It didn't cross my mind except for with heavyweights. It didn't cross my. I thought like I was one of those ignorant people that thought like the lower weight classes are not going to dope because they won't make weight. Because I thought steroids were only. I thought performance enhancing drugs were only muscle builders. You know.
Right.
There's no way guys my weight are going to be doping or are able to dope in that way. You know. It wasn't until the night I watched Manny Pacquiao and Miguel Cotto changed my entire perspective on boxing.
Wow.
You know, the one night I watched that fight, you know, that night changed my entire perspective on boxing and doping in boxing. You know, in one night. You know.
Wow.
And then I started, paying more attention. Then I started asking more questions, and I started hearing a lot more rumors, and I started hearing, suspecting a lot more things. And, it's gotten to the point we're at now, where it's like, now it's full blown. It's a full blown problem. You know.
Right.
It's a full blown epidemic now.
Yeah.
And it's almost like even the guys who want to be clean, if they want to have a career, they can't afford to be clean. You know.
Right. Right.
Not to that point, and that's all. That's not the fighter's fault. That's not the fighter's fault. So that's why I'm done criticizing fighters that are going to fail tests. You know, how was Billy Joe Saunders going to expect? How you expect a guy like Billy Joe Saunders to be clean when he just watched the main guy in his weight class, who is the guy everybody's chasing for the money and for the belts, get a slap on the wrist for doping? How are you going to beat that guy if he's getting a slap on the wrist for doping? The only way you're going to do it is if you're doping too. You know what I'm saying? So how can I criticize a guy like Billy Joe Saunders, who's in the same weight class and watching that? If you're looking up at that guy and I say I got to catch that guy, you know for a fact he's doping or he's been doping. He just got a slap on the wrist for doping. I mean, what else can you do? You know what I'm saying? What else can you do? You know, there's no way there's no other way you can even the playing field aside from doing it yourself. You know, so it's a shame, but the powers that be have caused this problem, and even fighters that don't want to dope, you know, it's going to force them to dope.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's just weird now. It's like now it's like if you see a guy that looks like he's in shape. He's almost guilty until proven innocent. You know what I mean? It's
and it sucks because honestly, like, you know, you can't really judge it on a body all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can. I mean, if you're like a super expert, but I remember fighting at 140 pounds in my 20s. You know, your testosterone is naturally higher in your 20s.
Right.
And I was ripped making weight at 140 pounds. My mid, not even late, I wouldn't say the late 20s, but I'd say up until I was like 27, I was making 140 pounds, like really, really ripped. 127, 28.
Yeah.
The day of my weigh-ins, I was very, very ripped, you know? But then, you know, little by little, as I was making 140 pounds, the next couple of years after that, you know, my body started looking like smooth at 140 pounds. I was losing that muscle definition, you know what I'm saying? And I was doing the same things, you know. I just think it was my natural testosterone decreasing, you know.
Right.
As my age was getting older, you know. So I was looking different even though I was making weight, you know. So you also have to keep age in mind. You know, I'm not a scientist, so there's probably more things that I have to keep in mind than that probably a scientist will tell you that I can't. You know, but there's so much to keep in mind that you can't just, you know, the eye test is not always that easy. You know what I'm saying? At least it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? For me, I always looked at, you know, the eye test as far as what's going on in the ring. You know, how much are you overcompensating for your flaws with activity and extra power? You know what I'm saying? Because guys who aren't as talented as say the world class guys have to overcompensate with activity and extra power. You know, or one of the two or both. To where one or both of those things becomes ridiculous in what they're doing more so than any other fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not good enough to actually beat them on talent. You know, so you know but that doesn't mean the more talented guys aren't doping either. Because then what happens? The more talented guys are going to watch these kind of guys who suck start to overcompensate with activities, and now you have to bring your activity level up to theirs as well, because otherwise the less talented guy is going to beat you. So now as a more talented guy, what do you got to do? As a more talented guy, just to not get beat by the less talented guy, you got to dope as well. You know what I'm saying? So it just becomes an epidemic, and because it's become an epidemic because it's just, you know, the powers that be don't stop it. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why. And again, like even in this situation with Billy Joe Saunders, I mean, you've got one organization who's saying it's, you know, he failed the test, and then you have another organization, the UK anti-doping. They say it's okay up until the day of the fight. You know, the rules are so different. There's no universal. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And that's why guys dope. And again, that's why guys dope. And that's why guys will continue to dope. And that's why guys are probably stupid at this point if they're not doping. You got no shot, bro. You know, it's a shame to say. You got no shot at making it unless doping. You know, it's such a shame. It's a real shame.
Aren't you glad like your career's done? Like you're not coming up in this time, you know? Yeah,
I am. You know, and I'm sad about it too, though. You know what I'm saying? Because really, you know, you start to wonder like so many other possibilities. You know, the entire landscape of the sport would change. You know what I'm saying? Like, doping doesn't affect you just from fighting a guy who's doped. Doping also affects you because you're not fighting that guy, but you're not getting the results that guy's getting. You know, or the kind of result, or the way he's getting those results. So he's taking away. That guy's taking away magazine covers from you. That guy's taking away articles about you. That guy, because he's getting those articles. That guy's taking away endorsements from you. That guy's taking away commercials. That guy's taking away. So, you know, doping doesn't affect you just because you fought the dope guy. You know, doping affects you indirectly as well because those guys are taking all the headlines because they're winning in more spectacular ways than you are. You know.
Yeah.
And that also affects your income. That affects your star power, and that affects all that. You know.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
So then what happens? These other guys who weren't doping start to dope.
Yep. It's a cyclical process. It's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.